Hey guys, welcome to another video. I believe that meditation is one of the most important things you can do for yourself ever. It's not something that can be debated because once you understand what it does and once you start implementing it and then once you start doing it very, very regularly, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine you're living in a life that, is fine. That's probably your life. You probably live a life where you just wake up, you kind of go on your phone a little bit and then you go do your whatever duties you have in the morning. Maybe you have school, maybe you have work, or maybe it's just a free day for you, so you kind of just scroll anyway. And then you go have some food, you come back, and then you have all these thoughts in your head. You're kind of just living like an NPC, and you don't really know if you have control over your life. You might be in a position where you kind of don't have direction, where you're like, okay, I'm kind of living life, but I don't know where I want to be, and I don't know where I'm going. A lot of people live this way. The problem with living this way is that time will pass anyway. Time is gonna pass and you're not gonna know what you wanna do. You're not gonna be making progress toward what you wanna do. You might be thinking you're making progress because you're kind of just living the life other people told you to, right? Go to school, go to work, get a job. If you don't already have a job, work as much as you can in that job, come back. You're not really working for promotion, you're kind of just working. You have school, you're kind of just passing, you study only when you absolutely need to study, and then you kind of just get a pass mark, and you repeat that every single day for the rest of your life. And 90% of people live like this. Now, by no means is this a bad life. This is essentially just a 5 out of 10 life. You're not gonna fail in life. You're not gonna go into like whatever these people say where you're gonna go into ruts and then you're gonna be depressed. Usually don't get depressed by that type of life. You kind of just get depressed by like many bad things. But you'll live life normally. But a lot of people, especially people watching these kind of videos, you definitely don't want a 5 out of 10 life. If you're being completely honest with yourself and you're not gonna lie to me and you're not gonna lie to yourself, you can basically tell yourself that, yeah, no, I want a 6 out of 10 life, maybe even a 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 life. And you kind of don't want to say it to people because other people are also living a 5 out of 10 life and you kind of don't know where to start. And in this video, I promise you that I'm going to teach you the one daily habit that if you implement, you'll know exactly what to do, you'll know when to do it, you'll know how badly you want it, and you're gonna make progress. I can literally guarantee it. First of all, respect to you, and I'm glad that you're watching this video. So many people just sit around on YouTube, Instagram, Reels, TikTok, and they watch hours of content that they don't even like to begin with, and they just waste their time and they complain that they don't have time to study, they don't have time to go to the gym, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I don't get enough sleep. But they sit on their phone 4 hours a day. So, you don't want to be those type of people. So, I promise by the end of this video, you're going to learn the exact tactic to change that. First of all, my name is Kaushi and I make content like this pretty often on this channel. So if you want to stick around and you want to watch more, just click subscribe so you know exactly when I upload another video. So around 2022, I'm in like 12th grade and it's my final year of school. And I have pretty bad mental health, right? And I don't mean like, oh, I want to like kill myself or something. It's simply just, I have so much laziness, but so much passion at the same time. This is one of the worst situations you could be in. I really wanted grades. Like I watched all these self-improvement, studying videos over and over again, over and over. I tried different study tactics. I've tried, note-taking, brains, where you write the thing on the paper and you flip it. I forgot what it's called. But I studied so many different tactics. I went to the gym, right? I worked out pretty hard and I would eat like 10% of the portions I used to because I would think that I didn't want to gain fat, even though naturally I'm skinny. So I had a lot of passion, but I was lazy and not hardworking to get what I wanted from that passion. And I had exams coming up. I had my final exams coming up, which was literally in the whole school years, like the 12 years I've been in school, the most important exams of my life. And I haven't studied a single bit. I would barely pass like the mock test that the school would give you. I was in a pretty bad position. And around the end of that year, around December, I decided to log in. So many things happened in my life. It would be too long for me to explain it in this video, but I hope you can understand that there was a position in my life where I just hated it. I absolutely hated it. I would literally think that me going through like some big issue would have actually been much happier than the position I was in. And my daily life would simply just look like waking up, kind of late, 1, 2 p.m. on holidays, right? And I'd scroll on my phone, I'd eat some food, I'd watch YouTube, I'd play Minecraft, and then I'd sleep, and then I'd do the whole thing over and over again. And I hated my life. And then I just started locking in, right? Over multiple different situations, multiple videos I watched from different YouTubers, I just locked in a sense that I decided, fuck this, I'm gonna go and work on myself. I don't wanna be in this position anymore. I hit rock bottom, so from that rock bottom, I can't really go down, so the only way is up. And the one tactic I started doing that made the biggest difference is meditation. Meditation is essentially you sitting in a position, any position you want, and focusing on a random part of your body, a random instance of your body moving, and just doing that for a certain period of time where your brain is going to get distracted and then you bring the attention back. It's simply like this. Let's imagine we're meditating together. We're not gonna do it right now so you can watch me do it. So I can teach you. But imagine we're sitting down and you close your eyes and then I tell you to focus on the breath coming in and out of your nostrils. You could do this right now. And you can definitely feel the breath now that I've told you that you're breathing manually. And if I let you be in silence, right, hypothetically, and you're meditating for like 3 minutes, within 30 seconds, your brain is gonna go think about 10 different things. It's going to happen, it's guaranteed. And this is where a lot of people falter. People think that this is where it's wrong and, oh, I can't meditate. But actually, this is the perfect position you could be in, most perfect position. Because when your mind wanders, the faster that you can realize that you're mind wandering and then you bring your attention back to whatever you're focusing on anyway, is called a meditation. That's literally just one rep of meditation. You've done bicep curls, you've done bench press, you've done ab crunches. Whenever you do an ab crunch, you activate that muscle, you activate that like burn sensation, and then later on your muscle grows. Meditation is the exact same thing. Whenever you're mind wandering, or let's say when you start, and then your mind wanders and you're thinking about something else, as soon as you do that, what's happening is your brain's going away and it's thinking about something else. And when you consciously find out that you're mind wandering and then you bring your attention, like pull it back to whatever you were focusing on, that's literally your brain doing a bicep curl. And so let's say you do this for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you're gonna think about some random things like 90% of the time. So there's gonna be a lot of reps. And then when you do those reps, you can imagine that part of your brain that brings the attention back is way stronger because you've done so many reps. And then let's say 3 weeks down the line, let's say hypothetically you did it every day. 3 weeks down the line, you're gonna get really good at doing the 3-minute meditation. You're gonna be perfect, literally almost perfect at focusing for 3 minutes on your breath. At that point, you can imagine the same idea of the gym where the same weight doesn't hit the same. You have to increase the weight. So in the sense, you have to increase the time you're meditating. And then you do that over and over again. Now you might ask like, oh, the fuck, like what does this do for my mental health? What does this do for me not knowing what to do in life? Meditation has a list of benefits. The biggest one is focus. So if you have trouble focusing, you can't really focus on what you're trying to read in the textbook, whatever, this is gonna completely delete that. But another bit of those lists, I can name everything, but another thing I think is really important is because you are not in your own head. You know, you might think that you don't know what to do, but the thing is, you know what to do. Right? The problem is, right, people when they're like, let's say they're fat, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what diet to do. I don't know, how many times do I go to the gym, blah, 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 blah. They overthink the idea of exercising, right? The whole point of, okay, if you're fat and you want to lose weight, you kind of just go to the gym, or if you're skinny, you go to the gym and then you work out, both of you work out. So you have a friend who's fat and a friend who's skinny. You both work out and then you come home and you eat different diets based on your goals. Skinny guy eats a lot more, which is hard for him. Fat guy eats a lot less, which is hard for him. And then that's it. You just continue that over and over again. You get good sleep and boom. It's that simple. I just explained the concept of fat loss and weight gain in like 30 seconds. But you know that there's probably millions of people, like millions of people who don't know that. But the fact is, they know that. They just don't want to admit it. They're in their head so much that they're like, I don't know what to do. I need to watch all these videos. Like me, like I need to watch all those studying videos on how to study. The fact is, you know what you need to do. You're just in your head so much, and that actual answer is like thrown in the garbage bin of how much shit you have in your head that you don't see it. And when you meditate, you are for the first time closing your eyes and focusing on nothing but what's happening right now. You are out of your head. If you're left with your thoughts, you're gonna be in this like big mess of thoughts. But if you start meditating regularly, you're constantly putting yourself in a position, you're giving yourself like therapy, like physical therapy of getting out of your own head and bringing yourself back to the present moment. What this will do over time is it'll clear out the trash in your brain. When I'm explaining this to you, I have nothing in my head. Literally, there's barely any thoughts in my head. When I'm studying, I get no thoughts in my head. When I'm studying, I completely focus on studying. That's because I meditated for so long, and that too, not even that much every day. If I'm being completely clear, I meditate for 3 to 5 minutes every single day. I've tried 20 minutes, I've tried 60 minutes, and they work, right? But then I tend to fall off if I start thinking, oh, I'm gonna do that every day. So I just stick with 5 to 10 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes, and if I have like a good consistent schedule, then I increase it to 10, and I'll see if I stick with that. The point is, so long as you're meditating every single day, you will have no issue focusing, and you'll have no issue knowing what you want to do, when you want to do it, because you already know it. Chances are, if for example your problem is, I need to have that conversation with so-and-so, right? You know who I'm talking about. I need to have that conversation with so-and-so. I need to cut this person off, girl or guy. I need to stand up for myself in this position. I want to lock in and focus on studying. You have so many things you want to do, and you've asked for so long, how do I do it? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. You just have so much shit in your mind that you just don't want to see it. You can't see it. Fair enough, right? If I'm asking you to look for like a pin in the haystack, you're not going to see it. But the more you remove the hay, the more easier the pin is going to be to see. And that's exactly what meditation does. Now, an action step I can give you is simply just do it every single day. When you wake up or right before you sleep. I suggest it's when you wake up, because the thing is, if I tell you to do it in the evening, night routine, I'm gonna meditate in the night before sleeping. You're too tired by the end of the day, you've done too much, and you're too lazy to even remember, right? Trust me, I've done this for over 2 years, and I still have never meditated in the night, even though I told myself, I'm gonna meditate in the night. I would consider myself a pretty disciplined guy, right? But then I still forget. So I do it as soon as I wake up. Literally the freshest time I can find, as soon as I open my eyes, I'll do it. Like obviously I'll go brush my teeth or something, and then once I'm like kind of awake, I sit down on my bed and I meditate, or I sit on the sofa and I meditate. How you can do it is you can just search up guided meditations on YouTube and just follow the guy. He'll just remind you every so, like in the 3-minute timer, there'll be a guy randomly reminding you like, hey focus, with like different words. So you have an easier time. It's like training wheels. And then what you can do later is, this is not my phone, but my phone's recording this. You can install the app called Medito, Medito, and just do the guided meditations there. That's what I do. And there's like a score system in a sense, like it tracks your consistency, it tracks how many sessions you've done, how many minutes you've meditated. So it's kind of like a video game, which we like, right? Once you start doing this, you will realize how life-changing it is. A story I'll tell you is that I used to meditate every day, 15 to 20 minutes, like over multiple sessions in the day, in the start of 2023 when I was studying for the exam, in the story I told you this morning. The start of this video. And I stopped for a while. So the entirety of 2023, I meditated pretty regularly. And in 2024, I kind of stopped. And then I would start again, and then I would stop. And 100% of the time, when I did it, my life was in my control. I felt good. The memories I have of that time is so good. You might think that it doesn't affect anything in my life. Trust me, even though it has nothing to do with the rest of my life is so much happier. I have only positive thoughts about those periods of my life. Then in the times where I didn't meditate, I would be obsessed over some girl that didn't really like me. I wouldn't do my work on time. I'd fall into bad habits. I'd sleep super late. I'd wake up super late. I'd have headaches, all of these things. And you might think, how is meditation even affecting all of this? It does. Trust me. So just take my word for it. And if it doesn't work for you, be my guest and not do it. But everyone that has ever meditated in their life, I can guarantee it's worked for them. So you're not going to be the special one, but prove me wrong if you want to. Do it for like a week or two before making any judgments. It's not an instant fix, right? Obviously, just like working out, you know this, just like working out, you know you're not going to get muscle the second you start. If someone asked you, oh no, I don't get muscle the second I start working out. Well, yeah, duh, you need to sleep, you need to do it for like a long time to see the benefits. Use that same mindset. If you like this video and you want to see more, click the subscribe button. If you like the video, click the like button. And if you want to see more videos right now, you can click my face down there. I have a bunch of videos just like this. And I hope you have a wonderful day.